SNF Pop-Up Radio with the Radio Workshop and Radio Pantheon.
Hello everyone. We are back here at Pop-Up Radio at 2023 SNF Nostos Conference. And today, I'm Hara Casciotti, first of all, and I'm here with Andrea and we have a special guest with us.
And our special guest is the one and only co-president of the Stavros Niarchos Foundation, Mr. Andrea Dracopoulos. How are you, sir?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing what you're doing for the second year. I think you're one of my favorite parts of the whole conference, the whole Nostos, and I mean that. Both the Youth Advisory Committee and you guys, and the fact that you work together. I wish I was young and I could do the same thing. I would join you.
I'm really happy to hear that, because we're all excited to be here. Sure. One part, I really need to be honest with you. I'm super nervous. My hands are actually shaking. Me and the team.
Why would you be nervous?
Me and the team were really planning for this interview. We spent hours, prepping our questions. At some point, one of the lead radio workshop people was like, "Puseleto, these questions are boring." So we had to restart again. So last night you were interviewing the 44th President of the United States, Mr. Barack Obama. So I'd like to know, how was that for you? Were you nervous? Were your hands sweating like mine?
No.
Okay. So, because last year you were in an interview with Sia, and then you mentioned that when you get nervous, you bite your nails. So we're wondering, are the nails?
You don't want to look at the nails. They're still bitten. But no, yesterday no, because he's a great individual, and I've known him. I've met him a few times, so we've had discussions. So when you meet somebody and then you know them and they know you, you feel more comfortable. And also that it was going to be a positive discussion about what can we do to improve, to strengthen and nurture democracy. So there are things that we have both discussed, and I think he was great, and I think he gives a real message of optimism, despite the issues that we all have to face, and eventually you're going to have to face. So again, as I said, the first day, it's great that you can be here, because it's when we were young, we were not given such opportunities, because people thought that you're young, you have nothing to do. These are our problems, our issues. When the reality is that the way life has actually developed, evolved, technology and everything, you are part of it now. And the sooner you get involved and the sooner you have a say on what's going to happen, the better for everybody, for you and for us. And the only thing is, again, with ownership, because it's a matter of ownership, comes a responsibility.
Responsibility, yes.
And also, you're not young forever. So this is your opportunity. Grab it, live life to the fullest. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and always be true to yourself. And keep doing what you're doing.
We are truly honored and very grateful for this opportunity, and also
Me too.
having you here.
So, we just hear about the next year's team. Tell us about this decision. Why you decide this team for next year?
So, we try to do things that, number one, we are active in, because we work with like our partner grantees. So we always try to find things that we have partners to talk with and organize. And also on issues which we think are important in terms of being relevant to people, and not only to the older generations, but to the young people. And I think the issue of a civil, the civic engagement, again, you have to engage yourselves, the young people especially, you have to engage. There's no more, we don't care, it's not going to make a difference. You have to engage. And you do it by civic engagement. And also do it in a civil way, with civil discourse. So there are two issues which may sound like very, very simple. Yeah. And you say, why do you even have to talk about them? But we are at a tough situation, so you really have to talk about them.
Yes.
And we expect next year to have even more youth involvement, because these are things that are going to define your own lives and your own careers and your own futures. So we try to do that also. We believe in the youth.
It's really important for us, like hearing from you, a person like you, for young people doing those things that it's so important for us, I think.
I'm young too. So it's
Of
okay.
course you are young. Of course you are. You are in our team now.
So speaking of young people,
Yeah.
we'd like to know that how is it that you manage your time?
Yeah.
What is your advice to us in tackling such tough decisions? Sorry, because I believe that it was pretty much hectic preparing for this conference and overseeing it. Now we're at the final end. So what's your advice to the young people in tackling difficult situations?
So number one, don't be afraid to think big.
Yeah.
We try to do that every year, even when we get frustrated and we say we're overwhelmed. We get a good night's sleep, we have a drink, and the next day, here we go again. So it's a matter of, if you believe in something, life is short, but as somebody said, life is full too.
Yeah.
So you have to live it. You have to give it all you have. And I think the more you have in terms of whatever it is, power, financial thing, talent, the more you have, the more you have to make sure that you give back. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have a good time. It's okay to have a good time. Most revolutions, when they took place, it was the thing to go for happiness, be happy. Mm-hmm. It's good to be happy. But the more you have, the more you can share with other people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that makes everybody better off. You have to work hard, no matter what, no matter how much talent you have, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much power you have. I don't care what people say. One thing I would tell you, no matter what, you have to work hard.
So it's about trying.
And hopefully you have to work hard on things that you really believe in. I mean, that really helps. But you have to work hard and prepare. And it's also important to have good people around you for what you're trying to do, people who have the same vision. And that's why I'm saying, for us, all you have been a great inspiration and a great help.
Thank you. The days flew by so fast. Now it is the last day of the conference.
Wait till you get older. You think the day goes fast? Wait till you get older. You see what goes fast.
And it is the 23rd of June, and the conference ends tonight. How are you feeling? Did everything go as planned?
I think it went as planned and even better. We didn't have any bad moments. Again, it was a difficult subject. I think it was an inspiring subject in terms of being out there and being able to talk about it. It's a subject that I think affects all of us. Again, I keep talking about it, but the stigma is off. And once the stigma is off, we have to really then pound on talking about it, and that's the beginning of the battle. But you have to really feel free to talk about it with your friends, with experts. But it's part of life, and it's going to be with us. And I think it's going to be great that, very soon we're going to be talking about it as you talk about if you have a headache or you don't feel good for whatever reason. It happens, and it's okay. And that's why I enjoyed very much my one-on-one with the captain of the Greek national team, somebody who is young, who's done amazingly and in a very, very human way, who's not afraid to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So it's all about sharing it. So you share the good things, and sometimes you share the difficulties also. That's how you live your life in a full way.
We're very glad to hear that everything went as expected. What would you say it takes to run a conference like this?
As I said before, you have to really prepare for it. You have to start preparing. We're going to start working on it tomorrow. Prepare for it, plan it, have a timetable, always have deadlines. They always help. So you have to be prepared to work hard, and the more prepared you are, the more opportunity you're going to have to think outside the box, to think about inviting people that otherwise may not come, but you build on it. So it all helps.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us and honoring our invite to the Pop-Up
from me.
Radio. It was really great. Thank you for this conference. We learned a lot. We are taking a whole lot to our homes.
And then you bring it back next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah?
Hopefully we
Bringing
will.
it back next year.
We'd like to thank you for the opportunity, of course, and we would also like to thank Dimitris Geronimakis, Andreas Tirannopoulos, Δημήτρης Μπουναής, Νίκος Ναούμ, Λουκία Συνοδεινού, Άννα Μαρία Κόσμογλου, Θανάσης Τρομπούκης, Διαμαντής Λάπας, the people of Radio Workshop, the people of Radio Pantheon, all of the staff and volunteers, everyone who participated and worked to make all of this happen. And of course, thank you for tuning in and listening. And this is our final pop-up radio broadcast from 2023 SNF Nostos Conference. Goodbye.
See you next year.
See ya.
Thank you.
Καλώς ήρθατε στο SNF Nostos. Ακούτε το SNF Pop-Up Radio από το Radio Workshop και το Radio Pantheon, όπου λέμε ιστορίες που επανεστιάζουν και κάνουν focus στην ψυχική υγεία.